Thanks so much for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the insightful discussion. We are going. Our technical team are going to take a very small technical break to make sure everything is in order and the pitching is going flawlessly. In the meantime, let's maybe check if everyone who's supposed to be here are here. So the judges who will be in the finals, the big moment. Can you show me the round of hands that you're here so I can? All right, 2 of them are here. Perfect. Everyone is here. Amazing. What about the pitching startups? So as to remind you of the order as well as the to make sure that all of you are here. So the first pitching startup is Kadar. Guys, perfect. All right, we will be paying very close attention. The guys are leaving, so we're trying to make everything quick just for you. The next pitching startup is Aurora Tech. Do we have Aurora Tech here? Okay, not yet. So if any of you see someone with that badge, maybe they're online, not sure if they haven't left. But in case if you see someone with that badge, drag them here. Thank you. All right, and next up, Innovec Tech. Oh, sorry. Yeah, sure, take it away. In the meantime, Innovec Tech. Perfect. Superface. Well, he was somewhere here, I remember him. Oh, perfect. Adapter Robotics. Diana. Diana, do we have you? Okay, not Diana, but we still have you. Not you. All right. Circus Mass. Circuit Mass? Circuit Mass. No, Circus. Have you brought your prototype with you? Perfect, great. We all want to take a picture of that. Looks very cool. Okay, Orbify. Perfect. Thank you for shouting. That's actually that actually makes me a bit more coordinated, because it's very hard to see here in that light. Can you imagine every single time I'm talking to you, I just have this like huge spots and I cannot look at the people's faces later on. So if I don't recognize you in the hall or you think I'm running away from you, I probably am running away from you. But let's just imagine that it's because I cannot see your faces. All right. Next up, World from Space. Online. Thank you, Victor. Technovator, Ruslana, I see you. I knew you were here. Perfect. And Nordics.io. All right. Yeah, okay. So I got just the heads up that we are ready to go, which means we are starting the big final. And I'm trying to keep it short here. So without further ado, I will give the mic over to my dearest colleague, Elena, who is on the phone. That's great. Perfect. All right. I guess I'm taking over then. In that case, let's hear from the first finalist, please. We have the presentation ready. We are ready for you. Go ahead.
What about now? Okay, works. So, hello everyone. We are Kadar, and we are here today to change the perspective on managing career development. So when you hear career development, you might think cumbersome, endless spreadsheets, school-like grades, lack of learning opportunities, etc. We want to help managers to switch this mindset to sleek reports and dashboards, objective performance management, and some employee-initiated learning with a little help of AI. Right now, we're witnessing a manpower generation shift and some major changes in the job market. So employees want continuous learning opportunities, fair and objective evaluation, open communication with their manager, and of course, a clear career path in front of them. So disengaged and dissatisfied employees move on easily, the turnover rate goes up, and so do the costs of hiring new people, onboarding them, and some lowered productivity in the meantime. Usually, it is really hard for managers to juggle things and to keep track on everyone they're accountable for. And this is when Kadar swoops in to help out these managers and to accelerate time to competence. So, Kadar covers 4 crucial domains for the managers: creating an alignment between employee and manager, accurate and objective skill assessment, co-piloting career development, and some valuable engagement for the employees with a little power with a little help of AI-powered learning. So you might think, okay, it seems legit, but there are so many HR apps out there. And yes, that is true, the competition is tough, but we are not worried because there are things that make Kadar unique. First and one, HR apps are usually focused on one thing only. So let's say performance management or learning or one-on-ones. And Kadar, on the other hand, is all-in-one solution, so it makes it quite convenient. The second thing is that we're making a system that is extremely flexible and customizable, which makes it really easy for very different companies to fit their way of working into the Kadar. And we can proudly say this is one of the most common feedbacks we get from our clients. And thirdly, we provide an exquisite customer support at all stages. So right now, 7 companies from the Balkan region use Kadar on a day-to-day basis. We have around 20 more companies in the sales pipeline in the different stages, and our current ARR is around $20,000. So right now we are starting to raise seed. Product-wise, we get great feedback from our clients. We have product that is ready to use, and now we want to focus on our sales and marketing. Product-wise, we are constantly polishing our existing features and adding some new ones. And in the upcoming period, during summer, we want to focus on 2 main things. The first one is introducing AI app-wide. For now, we were focused only on our learning feature, and now we want to widen it. And the second thing are integrations. We want to make using Kadar an overall better and seamless experience. So as a small team of 8 really competent and passionate individuals, we truly believe that we can change the tomorrow of work, both for managers and for employees. Thank you so much.
So, hi, thank you for the pitch. I had one question. What segment of customers do you focus on the most right now?
Yes. Our main customers are managers, middle management that usually leads the teams, and HR. So that are our 2 focus groups.
And the size of the companies that you usually target?
Usually middle-sized companies. So our current clients, I mentioned that we have 7 paying customers. Usually that are companies from 40 to 200, 300 people, so around something like that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So I think the problem is real, right? And we've probably all experienced it. Can you say a bit more about how you're actually solving that and how you're changing behavior in poor managers? And we're probably all guilty of that.
Yes. Well, my personal opinion, because where the app came from, actually I was leading an HR a few years ago of a big company, IT company in Belgrade, Serbia, that had around 150 employees at a time. And we were trying to introduce an HR app, but actually it was really hard because there was no app that fitted all of our needs. Each one of them had something that was missing, and we were like, okay, let's try to solve this problem and to make our own app. And I think the main problem is that it's usually expected that HR does everything, from entering data, for tracking everything, to scheduling one-on-one meetings for managers, etc. And our app is actually more focused on the managers themselves and on employees. So let's say career development, for example, it's not only manager's job to develop a career of an employee, but it's also employee's job. So that was the main idea that we started from.
So might be that I messed it up, but I would like to ask for the business model. How do you want to sell it? Or is a package, is a tailored package for the specific firms, or it's subscription?
Yes, it's subscription-based. It's pay-per-seat model. So, for example, if a company has 50 employees, they're paying 50 times $4, which is a price for one license monthly. We have also monthly and yearly subscriptions, so everyone chooses what's best suited for them.
That's why it's the middle.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you for your pitch. Could you please elaborate a bit more on the competitors, specifically the direct competitors?
Of course,
how you want to stand out?
Of course, yes. Usually, you've probably heard of Leapsome, Lattice, Bamboo HR, etc. And all these apps are focused, let's say, on performance management. That's their main thing. Then we have 15Five, which is also one of our competitors. They're focused on one-on-one meetings. And let's say Bamboo HR, which is usually focused also on performance management, administration, etc. And our app has all the features, which in a way closes the circle, which is really important because when you start from, let's say, performance management, assessing some skills, etc., it's really important what's the next step. And the next step on improving and on career development must be learning. So one of our features, for example, is also learning library. besides performance management. So there's a difference between our app and the other apps.
Perfect, thank you. Could you please go back to your team slide? And I would be really curious.
Can we get the presentation back, please?
Yes. Do you have any kind of competencies lacking in your team that would also affect the success of this business?
Okay.
It's not.
Just let me get to that slide. Okay, so Mia sales, Marco, which is right there, yeah. He's our front-end developer. I'm product manager. Ognen is our CEO, and he also does some of the sales. Velja, which is also right there, is our back-end lead. Then we have Milos, which tests our app. Atsa is also our front-end developer, and Anya does lead generation. So we have everything covered, but there's only one of each of us. So now we're focusing more on expanding our team in the means of sales and lead generation. So that's our focus right now. Also marketing.
Perfect, thank you. With that note, we are out of time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We are very hopeful you're going to make it to your flight. Let us know. Thank you. All right. You know what? We had a little, very hectic mess up in the beginning, so I skipped the part of introducing our jury, which I think is a very important and crucial step because those are the decision makers, right? So let me start with with Christoph Klink from Antler. Then we have Ambresha Tala from Startup Life. You remember her? She had a presentation today, very lovely. Next one we have Tamas Shekhar from AtScale Group. Is that good? Yeah? Okay. Because also the reason I hesitated because Tamas was also a part of Wolf Summit, so I was like, not sure what exactly you wanted me to present you as. And last but certainly not least, we have Jakub Vizvari from Look AI Ventures. And as I was making my best efforts to keep your attention on me, we have a magical event. Our MC has appeared, so take it away, Elena.
Thank you very much. I'm back, and we had a small change here. So let's hear from the second startup who will be pitching today. It's Innovec Tech. Aurora Tech, as far as I know, is their presenter from them. Oh, yes, we have you. Amazing. So are you ready?
Do you hear me?
Yes. Yes, are you ready to pitch?
Perfect, thank you very much. So, hello everybody, my name is Victor and I'm from Aurora Tech. Did you know that right now in Canada, over 30,000 people left their homes due to severe forest fires? Did you know that the US, forest fires in the US cause damages of $20 billion every year? Did you also know that the European Union spends over $32 billion on firefighting? But the problem is much larger. In the US, over $500 billion in housing values are exposed to fires. California's energy provider PG&E went bankrupt in 2019 due to $7 billion damages from fires caused by their power lines. Due to the climate change, fires spread fast and exponentially over time. That's why the detection of fires is about speed and area. Aurora Tech detects fires which have a size of a car or of a tree within 3 minutes and worldwide. We call it thermal intelligence, and we provide the world's fastest fire detection with true global coverage. How we do it? We use space-based sensors to measure the Earth's temperature continuously and in real time. Traditionally, fire detection relies on IoT sensors in airplanes. And as you may imagine, flying over fires with an airplane or a drone is dangerous and quite expensive. Aurora Tech uses sensors which cover an area over 160,000 square kilometers per scan, which gives us the lowest possible cost per square kilometers of only $5. Our track record speaks for itself. We have 30 customers from Australia to North America, 2 million ARR with 80% gross margin, 185 million in sales pipeline. We target to achieve 6 million revenues by end of this year and profitability beginning of 2025. So far, we raised 18 million in seed and Series A and invite you to join our 15 million Series B round, which we're kicking off soon. Thank you very much. My name is Victor Gauk and I'm from AuroraTech.
Thank you, Victor. Could you elaborate a little bit more on the defensibility of what you're doing? Kind of to what extent is kind of access to satellite capacity the issue, or is it the sensors, or kind of how does it become defensible? How do you build a moat around that?
Yeah, it's basically, thank you very much for the question. It's basically all of them. So we built a true vertical solution from the sensors over a software platform down to a user application. We came from, we analyzed the market, looked where the lack of information is, and we identified that firefighting has been done for 50 years in a traditional way using airplanes, and we identified that using satellites is cheaper and more reliable and obviously safe. So that means we use currently available data on the market from ESA, NASA satellites, fuse it into a software as a service platform, and you can imagine it's like Google Maps for fire detection. So the customer marks his area where he wants to see something, and whenever a satellite passes by this area, it takes a picture and detects the fire, then it fuses into the platform, and the customer, usually the firefighter or emergency service, gets a notification, a WhatsApp, or push or mail, and can determine what kind of action he wants to take, whether he just observes it or he sends a firefighting engine or do something else. For example, in energy, utility operators shut down power lines to not, that they don't get caught fire. I hope that helps.
If I may, just a follow-up, kind of, nobody else is taking photos in that kind of resolution, or kind of not with a thermal angle to it, or kind of, I mean, there's lots of satellites that are surveilling the Earth's surface. Kind of what can I use for what you're doing? What can't I use?
Yeah, thanks for the question. So we are using thermal intelligence, so we use all the thermal part of the light spectrum. Obviously, as you mentioned, there are solutions like visible pictures, which you take and you can see it. The disadvantage of such is that you cannot see through clouds and smoke. And obviously, if a fire burns and it's smoky, then a visual picture doesn't help you a lot. Thermal data goes through the clouds, and it can see, or through the smoke, and can see where the fire is going over the time.
Yeah, I would like to ask more about the team behind. So besides you, we saw it's you, but is there someone else that is on the team that supports on all this? Thank you.
Absolutely. Good question. Yeah. So we skipped the team slide. We have a great team of 80 people, software engineers, space engineers, optic engineers. We have a good sales team across the world, say in the US and Brazil. We are 4 founders from all areas, commercial, technical, software, hardware. So it's a really, really great team working out of Germany, but covering the whole world.
Victor, thank you for your pitch. Quick question. You've built a pretty good sales pipeline so far, so congrats on your achievements. What has led to, to these numbers? What about your sales team? What about your strengths in the team that helps you to build this pipeline?
Thank you very much. The way was not easy because, as I mentioned, not that much has changed in the emergency services over the last year. So we launched, we founded the company in 2018. We launched the platform in 2020, and it took us almost 2 years to educate the customer.
Sir, unfortunately, I have to cut you here. We are running out of time. Thank you very much for your presentation. Once again, round of applause. And let's invite our next startup. It's Innovec Tech. Yes, we have the representative. Just reminding you the rules of the Great Pitch Contest. You have 3 minutes for the pitch, 4 minutes for the questions. You have the timer of 7 minutes. Here's your clicker, the microphone, and yeah, take it away.
Can you hear me? Okay, very good. Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity to twice talk within 2 hours about digitization of manufacturing, which is a topic we are very excited about. I'm Boris Pačkovec, CEO of Innovec Tech, and I'll talk about our AI-driven scalable digital twin. So a digital twin has been an idea around for a long time. It's the idea that you take something that is real, you take it from real world, and you make a digital image. A digital image is great because then you can do a lot of experiments, you can play with it, and you can optimize it, and then you can do the actions in the real world. Right? It is obvious that this could help a lot, right? Manufacturing. It could save a lot of resources, and it is something that is essential for sustainable and wealthier future. The problem is that despite this, that everyone knows about it, it's still not around. Right? When you go to random factory, there is very low probability they will have a good digital twin of their operations. They might have digital twin of their product, but not really of their operations. And the question is why, when everyone knows that it's good for them. The problem is that it's very expensive and long to implement. And the reason for this is that it's not just that you put some sensors somewhere. You need to combine 3 types of intelligences. One is the knowledge, so domain knowledge about what the business needs. One is the knowledge about the sensors and the data collection, and one is the data analytics. So the data analytics might be quite tricky in some kind of digitization. So let me illustrate an example of heavy industrial warehouses. So this is how a typical heavy industries warehouse look like. They cannot put their stuff in a shelf system because you know, this is thousands of tons. So it's not like IKEA, a few tons. So therefore, it is in large piles on the ground. And if they need some specific unit, you should know that every one of them is different for different customer, for different line. Right? So if they need it, they need to look for it. It's like mushroom picking, right? When you go in the forest and you are looking for the right one, right? And it takes a lot of time. So for this, this is an example of a problem that could be solved by digital twin. If you have in digital the image of what is in the warehouse, then actually you could just press Ctrl F, right? And you could immediately find what is where. And our solution for this problem is this universal solution for all heavy industrial warehouses. It is a box that we can deploy in manufacturing operations. And this box is essentially edge device, which means it is a computer and cameras. These cameras are observing what is happening in the operations. And then real time it is processing it and it is collecting the data. These data are then passed to the database in which you can search. But it can do much more. It is really full digital twin. You can visualize, but you can also do the optimization and you can do a lot of analysis on top, like the inventory optimization the analysis. Right? So actually we took all these 3 types of intelligences, not like to the fullest, still artificial intelligence is not at that level, but we have human in the loop approach where people are collaborating with the machines so that they are correcting, and there are like several levels I can maybe discuss at our booth later. So we have, the most important thing is that this is already existent. So we have it already installed in some companies, and some companies already implemented it or integrated into their standard operation. So this is not something just a concept or some idea or just first trial. This is something that it has been tested, and one of our customers tested wide range of technologies, and they found that this technology is the best for steel warehouses. So we are expecting, we are discussing right now and have also submitted some LOPs. So there is a pile of orders. The team behind this is combining the expertise from data science, engineering, and also some domain knowledge. We have about, I would say, 18 people, but there are also additional people who are doing the annotations, helping us to assemble, put together, and we have also experts on engineering, technology, and business building. Just the first use case that I mentioned is 50 million potential revenues in Europe per annum, but we are already exploring expansions to other industries, so aluminum, downstream steels, and other, and we are actually looking into logistics and other discrete manufacturing industries. So we would like to welcome all potential business partners, so it could be the system integrators, it can be financial institutions who can provide the financing for liquidity, also venture capitalists, to join us on this journey and make the future of the world the more sustainable and wealthier by equipping all heavy industrial warehouses with digital twins.
Thank you for your pitch. How would you like to stand out from the competition?
Yeah, so what we do much better when you compare to other companies that are doing digital twins, we can install it very quickly. So this is really rapid installation. Like one of these boxes can be installed on average in 4 hours. So if we have several boxes and you even parallelize, it can be very quickly developed. And very quickly you can see that you actually have something. Second thing, it is low capex. So our business model is we are renting the devices and we are also renting this human in the loop, the entire service monitoring and so on. So it's actually like software as a service or analytics as a service. And another thing is that this is based on stationary cameras. So computer vision is great in manufacturing because you can very quickly like make the people from the line understand what is happening. Right? So it's better for it better combines the power of the machine and the human. Right? They can actually quickly. They can see it, right? And also it has higher usability. It can be used across all kinds of warehouses. That is what was found during this trial of one of our customers. That we can also use it for high temperature, so very hot steel. Okay, so.
Time is up. You can always follow up with the jury after we finish the contest. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let's invite our next startup, Superface. Do we have the... Yes, we do. 7 minutes, 3 minutes for the pitch, 4 minutes for the questions. Take it away.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Radek Novotný. I'm CEO of company Superface, and I will guide you through some AIs which will help in digital B2B. So all of you are using applications in your smartphones, applications at your system, in your company, your systems, and the application needs to connect other systems to be very efficient. In technical language, we are talking about integrations. The interface to connect each software is called API, and the P letter stands for programmable. Programmable means it's a labor for developers, so every applications on the planet which are connected to each other must go through the process of developers and connecting by hand. It costs a lot of money, a lot of time, and usually some softwares are stuck in average on 15 integrations because those companies cannot afford more. There are a lot of players, actually a lot of people involved in that process. On one side of API provider, that's a vendor that are trying to sell some digital capabilities on the market. And also on the other side, those are guys that need to go through procurement, to buy the service and do the development of those integrations. There are also a lot of development, a lot of tools that helps the developers how to connect those softwares. in our eyes, there must be something new. If you look at the B2B and the digital B2B, integration is taking a huge part and a critical part because it's one of the critical relationship between two companies working in digital space. So we say thank you API, you did what was expected, and welcome Superface AI. Superface is a super interface allowing applications to connect other applications in a matter of minutes, if not seconds. The application connects itself with other applications, so no developers are involved in the process. We built, this is a technical preview of a product we will launch in a few weeks. Just now I used a Pipedrive as the example, so our solution went to the documentation, technical documentation of Pipedrive. The AI reads it, understands it. I asked to connect to get some list of users from the CRM, and you see in a couple of minutes our AI agent is capable to integrate directly to that provider. I'm not a developer, I did this video, it's integrated without anybody else. So the value, you can imagine the value of Superface. So freeing all the integration developers from in-house team, those developers can start focusing on building the products, not the digging a tunnel from point A to point B, right? The time to integrate is now in minutes. We are targeting to be it in seconds. As we are not a middleman, the technology is just the infrastructure. It's without latency. We don't see the data, so it's GDPR safe. It's ultimate private. Our business model disrupts the market fully. As usual players, integration platforms as a service, those are proxies, those are middlemen. Those guys are charging pay per call. As we are not there, we just build the tunnels. We are charging just for a connector. So it's a flat fee per connection to that API provider. The technology without the AI was used more than 200 million times already with 2,000 open source users. We have a couple of companies with some initial revenue. We are still pre-product market fit, but the technology has been there. We are now trying to talk with you guys and get the feedback and see what the product should look like with the technology inside. We are a team of 15. Some of them are well-known API experts. Some of the guys, this is their second startup. The first was also in the API scape, and Oracle acquired the company. We are invested by 4,000 million euros already. So thank you very much. I'm Radek Novotný, CEO of Superface. You can think of me as the integration angel.
So thank you, Radek, for the pitch. I wanted to ask one important question, which is I've noticed OpenAI in the demo that you've shown us. So what sort of barriers are you building up for competitors who would want to create a very similar product like yours?
Okay, that's a very good question. So OpenAI, it's there. Before OpenAI, we built our own technology. It was successful at 10–15% of the open API specifications. It's good, but it was not enough. When OpenAI came, we included immediately, and now we saw the magic that can read all the API documentations on the planet and create all the connections automatically. So you can think of it as a Google of APIs, which you can connect immediately right away. So that was the first question, and I don't remember the second, sorry?
That would be the question. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Radek. Can you speak a bit about kind of the ideal customer and also what their reaction to you using OpenAI actually is?
Yeah, so back to the OpenAI. It's not necessary to use just the OpenAI. We are looking for some open source LLM models that will be more specific for APIs and integrations, so we can switch from one to another. This is actually a good question for bigger corporates, because they don't want to include their internal API documentation and send it to Microsoft, right? So we are looking for the future when each company will have its own AI model in-house, and we can benefit it and use it. The ideal customer right now, those are companies, usually platforms. Unfortunately, they are from from all the domains, so we don't have a niche market yet. But these platforms are in need to connect 50 plus integrations this year and 200 next year. When we see it, when we see in their website that they have something integrated, and usually they say some integrations coming soon, we know that it's our client.
Thank you. Exactly on time. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you.
Our next presenter is Adapter Robotics. Yes, and we have the presenter here. Amazing. Here's your clicker. 3 minutes for the pitch, 4 minutes for the questions. You know the rules. Take it away.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Mihai Crăciunescu. I'm the CEO and one of the co-founders of Adapter Robotics. We are a company based in Bucharest, Romania, with focus on robotics and AI with application in robotics. And we set ourselves a very important goal to revolutionize the way that testing is done currently on devices and replace the current methods with robots. The problem, no matter if you are a manufacturer or a programmer or developer, at some point in the product development cycle, you need to test what you are doing or what you are implementing. And most of the times, this testing is done by humans, or on some other times is done by specialized software, which are very hard to maintain depending on different versions of the application, different OSs, different device type, and so on. And for each, usually you need to have a certain or a specific version, and after a while, everything it's a mess, without discussing the possibility of testing the full system, a device with a third-party device and the communication between them. So in this ecosystem, we introduced MAT. We have 3 different versions, and it was designed to simulate human interaction on any kind of device that require physical input with touchscreen or with buttons. And depending on the application, we have 3 different versions, 3 different sizes. Beside the robot itself, it comes equipped with a customized end effector that can simulate human gestures like tap, pinch, swipe, rotate, zoom in, zoom out. And on each effector, we have a camera, and with our proprietary computer vision algorithms and AI modules, we can recognize any elements on the screen. So we can recognize buttons, icons, text fields, we can do OCR, recognize pop-ups, and so on. So similar to anything that a human would be able to register on a device. Because of those features, we have a global traction. We are present on all the major continents, and we have one of the biggest clients in the world that are leading in their fields. And because of this traction, this exposure, we started to see some trends in the market. So currently, from our experience, we see that the medical industry, it's an industry that is growing a lot alongside with automotive, and even in the circular economy, the refurbishment market is also growing. And our goal is to be more active in those pillars and to push more aggressively. Therefore, we decided to start a fundraising round. Currently, we are asking of around 1.3 million, 1.5 million, sorry. We already raised some of the capital that will allow us to be more active in these fields. We also were break-even last year, and this money will go directly into R&D and marketing and sales. The team, highly technical, with a background in robotics, with PhDs in robotics, and we also have colleagues that have a lot of experience in the business areas that are helping us grow the business. Thank you, and if you want to see the robot, we have one displayed in our booth. Thank you very much.
Very, very cool, thank you. Can you speak a bit about competition and kind of adjacent competition, which is however the hell else a manufacturing company would do that testing if they wouldn't use you?
Yeah, so competition right now, it's scarce, depending on the industry, of course. Most of the time we are seeing some, let's say, hobby type of solutions. I'm taking a robot, I'm putting a finger there, and I'm trying to do something in-house. Or I'm using some software to automate some of the things, but it works maybe on mobile phone, and what I'm doing is limited. There are also some other robotic solutions that can do software automation, but mostly, or software testing automation, but mostly they are focusing on a specific niche, like only mobile phones. They are not a general solution for different type of industries.
My question would be about customers. So basically, would the focus is B2B or B2C, or both in a sense of the need, the medical part or the business part of the manufacturer?
B2B. We are working directly with manufacturers or developers.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from the jury? Everything's...
What's the cost impact versus what I would have done traditionally before I was using you? So I'm Sony, I'm manufacturing the PlayStation controller there. Kind of what's the impact on my P&L?
Yeah, so if you're a manufacturer and you need to test this kind of devices, depending on your strategy, but let's say that you are testing each device, then it's very easily to compute. So from what we see with our manufacturer clients, they usually hire one personnel that is servicing multiple robots. And one person is taking care of each robot that has something to do. Or we have even more advanced clients that are using a robot basically to feed those other robots. So it's basically a lights out type of a deal in which the plant itself is running by itself by the robots. So it really depends on the size of the operation and the type of company that you are. If you are a Sony, probably it's a light out type of a deal, and you have robots that are servicing other robots.
Maybe the last one. Because I want a little bit of more information. You mentioned the circular economy. What is in there that it's included, or how do you operate with this, or get an insight?
Yeah, so we are present in the refurbishment cycle of the devices, and there you have a lot of volume. So we're talking about tens of millions of phones per year. Therefore, this type of testing has to be automated because you want to check if the buttons or camera works, connectors works, and so on. So you cannot do it manually. Yeah.
Any other last 20 seconds? Maybe you want to say anything, something else about you?
Just use of funds. We're heavily investing in the marketing and sales. This is what we are trying to do. The product is market ready.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, the next startup, we have a Circuit Mess. Yes. You know the rules.
Yes, it's my second time
Take it
pitching
away.
today. Cool. When should I start? Should I start? Yeah? Okay. Well, hi everyone. My name is Albert. I am a 24-year-old founder from Croatia. I'm building a company called Circuit Mess, and the name of the company comes from two words. The word circuit because we do electronic circuits, like this one over here, and the word mess because the company is in a huge mess. We have bootstrapped the business for 5 years, up until like $2 million of revenue last year, more than $65,000 of monthly recurring revenue, and right now we're building something new. But let me tell you about how this whole business actually came to be. So basically, I was super bored at school. I founded the business when I was in high school because I just wanted to do something with my own hands. But they would only give us textbooks, and we had to memorize things by heart. I actually figured out that like children nowadays, just like me, like we spend so much time in front of screens, and newer generations like even more. Basically, when they get born, they start typing something on their phones. I mean, take a look at the numbers. Like they spend so much time in front of phones nowadays. But the thing is, for some reason, the interest in STEM is actually declining. There's less and less children actually wanting to learn about electronics and coding and AI and all of these different things. And my theory is that it's not enough to just buy a bunch of 3D printers and just to throw them at schools and expect people to be, smart. You actually have to make something that's going to be interesting, and so we, went ahead and we actually solved that. we have created a bunch of these toys that teach children about AI and computer vision and machine learning in a super cool way because they're actually game consoles, cars, and a whole bunch of other stuff. The business model actually works like this. So you subscribe at our website, and you get a new box every single month that teaches you about a new thing. You also get access to these tutorials where you learn about like coding and electronics. You get access to this tool, which is like a low-code coding environment. And the whole point of this being a subscription is, well, you get to build new stuff. You'll also get access to the community, and well, you get new boxes all the time, and there's 15 boxes so far. We have a card that teaches you about autonomous vehicles. We have a synthesizer that teaches you about music. We have a voice assistant that connects to ChatGPT. Also a game console that you can actually use to code your own video games. It's like super cool. You get all of this starting at $30 per month. We have been monetizing most of the hardware side so far, so now we're trying to monetize the software side of things as well. Kids love it so far, users love it, dads love it as well. We have been doing all of this by bootstrapping. We've sold more than 80,000 products, reached almost like $800,000 of annual recurring revenue. The revenue is like growing, and most of the customers are coming from Western Europe and North America. And this is just the beginning. What we're doing next, so right now most of our products are for children 9+ and 11+. We're building new subscription lines for children 5+ and 7+, because I feel like everyone needs to learn about AI and these kinds of things if they want to succeed in the world of tomorrow. And also we're doing this thing, which is sort of like a Duolingo for STEM education. We're targeting the EU and the United States. The market is big and growing fast, and we're fighting with these dinosaurs that have been selling the same plastic toys for the past 100 years. I'm building this with my co-founder, who's a serial entrepreneur, has built 4 companies, made a joint venture with Porsche. I have a team of 26 people separated in these 6 different departments, raising 1.5 million. We're at 1.1. We found a lead investor. We need 400K, and we're going to build at least a $50 million business in less than 5 years. So yeah, that's it. If anyone from the audience has some cash or something, just kidding. Yeah. Thank you.
Cool stuff.
Thank you.
Quick question. So the end users are the kids, the visitor customers are the parents, right? That's, for example. Can you elaborate more on the sales and marketing strategy, how you want to acquire these customers?
Yeah, so right now we have more than 2,000 subscribers. We have been mostly acquiring customers using paid social media channels and also like organic customer acquisition, mostly by doing blog posts and basically doing, I would say, like guerrilla marketing on like by making videos, tutorials, and stuff like that. We've found that like it's really like posting things on like various social media networks where like parents basically spend time. This is something that has been working the best for us. What's interesting is that it was mostly Facebook and Instagram because like parents are those who are buying the products. As you already said, the children are the users, but like the parents, those are the people that are actually need to be convinced and then give us the money. So yeah, it was mainly like customer acquisition there, and also like we have put our first product in Walmart last year. So we're also trying to do this like offline user acquisition where they purchase something in, let's say, a store. They go and buy groceries, but then they go to our website and they subscribe to this like software service where they can actually be retained. Yeah, great question. Thank you.
Very good presentation. I loved it. So my question would be, have you ever thought also going to in collaboration with schools?
Yeah, great question. I get this question from every single VC I talk to. Yeah, no, sorry. I mean, like it's a good idea. We actually, when we were starting with the business, we tried selling just to schools, but I was like discouraged a bit because we saw that selling to schools is really hard. The sales process is really long. You have to talk to like various, I would say, people there. There's not, a single decision maker that's actually like doing, something. So you have to talk to the teacher, the principal, the school board. So we went into the B2C sector because we were bootstrapped and nobody wanted to like invest in us. So we were like, okay, let's try this out, and that was like working. I feel like it probably makes sense to go back into this direction of trying to sell to schools now, after we've learned a lot, but still I don't think it's going to be an easy game to play,
Yeah, just a feedback that there are not public schools, there are so many private schools who would be happy to have as a tool within integrated with their lectures. So maybe in this way, it's a good way to get into.
I mean, the whole point of Circuitm is
Yeah,
like
kind of.
democratizing knowledge. So we don't
Yeah.
just want to do private schools, you know, but like, yeah, private
No,
schools.
no, no.
make it
I'm
easier
not
to
just
work
saying.
with.
I'm just in a way of starting. Then the
Yeah.
public school will get it. Oh, they have it. Then we have to have it all
course.
as a way of teaching the kids on.
Makes sense. ChatGPT for everyone. Yeah.
Exactly.
Hi, so thank you for the pitch. It was great. My question is, are you collecting any interesting analytics on how children are playing and learning with your toys?
Yeah, so this is a bit tricky. So basically, you know, collecting data on children, this is something that we really need to. I'm going to be like real short in this answer. So we are trying to, you know, get some analytics because the most important thing is like, are kids actually using this product? If they're not using the product, like the parents are not going to see the value and they're not going to stay with the subscription. So we are trying to do that, which is like a bit tricky when you have a physical product. The way we can do this, so some of these products connect to the internet, so that's how we do it. And we also have this platform where we're trying to basically like get the data from like how much, you know, time children are spending on different tutorials, how much time are they spending on like coding the actual products and stuff like that. So, but yeah, we are trying to get this data because it's what we need to do if we want to retain the customers.
Wonderful, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
See ya. Thank you.
I am inviting Orbify to this stage. We have already seen each other here on this stage today. So here's your clicker,
Thank you.
the microphone, and take it away.
Okay, at least this time I know how it works. So, do you know what foresters, fishers, farmers, and fund managers have in common? Well, in order to be effective, all of them, they need to monitor natural assets, the resources that they are planting, the resources that they are processing, the resources they are protecting or investing in. Unfortunately, today's solutions are extremely convoluted or strikingly shaky or immensely imprecise or excessively expensive. Simply put, they don't do a good job. And this is why at Orbify, oh, I'm a little bit behind my slides, okay. This is why at Orbify we decided to combine data coming from the best public and commercial satellite imagery providers with top-notch AI and machine learning for processing the data into insights about the environment and state-of-the-art data visualization techniques that make the insights legible for non-technical stakeholders, executives, and decision makers that don't have PhD in geophysics. And the best part is that we are hiding all of this complexity under a web interface that is easy to use and neat, as easy to use as Canva, for example. This way, we are making Earth intelligence accessible to everyone with 4 easy steps. First, select the area you are interested in. Secondly, decide what parameters are relevant for your business, or simply go ahead with those suggested by our AI. And then browse the reports, charts, maps, and graphs and tables. And finally, decide how you plug it into your business workflow. The platform has been launched earlier this year in February, and since then we've seen immense increase in the usage statistics, as well as growing number of companies that are paying to use the platform to design or promote their climate positive projects. So if you would like to join our mission and if you would like to make space more useful for making better decisions, if you would like to see your name or logo on this slide, let's talk. My name is Jakub Dziwisz and I'm the CEO of Orbify Inc. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Can you speak a bit about competition?
Sure. In terms of competition, on the one hand, there are behemoths like ArcGIS or Google Earth Engine, which tell you, okay, read a couple of books, go to half-a-year-long training, and then you will be able to build a lot of stuff on our products. On the other hand, There are solutions that will just give you an information about one aspect of stuff that you are interested in. For example, your forest has 57 hectares. We are somewhere in the middle. We are like a solution that can be used by ordinary people, letting them click, click, click. I'm interested in biomass, I'm interested in forest area size, I'm interested in soil moisture, I'm interested in fire risk, wildfire risks. Shout out to Aurora Tech. This way, these people can access Earth observation in an unprecedented way. So we are, again, like Canva, right? There is Photoshop. And if you are a skilled designer, you can use Photoshop. But if you are a person that just wants to have a poster, a flyer done.
Follow up to that, how do you build a moat?
Sure. The moat lies in the IP, the models that are powering the whole thing, right? Because without AI machine learning, you need an analyst with a magnifying glass that tells you, oh, this picture is a forest. With our AI, this analyst is simply the machine. And we are more precise than Google Dynamic Worlds, for example.
Any other questions?
Can you tell us a bit more about your business model?
The business model is typical in SaaS industry, so this is subscription that depends on the size of the AOI, the area you are monitoring.
What is an average subscription price?
So it starts from $250 a month and goes up to the infinity, because we are working with small entities that are monitoring, I don't know, 5,000 hectares forest reserves, but we are also working with big corporations interested in ESG and proving to the world that they are actually the good guys.
Thank you.
So no more questions? Was very clear. Maybe you still have some time. Maybe you want to tell us something more about your company?
I would ask the question of explaining more in depth of the team who are behind this.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for this. So actually, we've got multidisciplinary team with people that have lots of different backgrounds from B2C, travel tech, e-commerce, people who are, yes, we need to build beautiful products that are easy to use, right? And this is one of the things that distinguishes us from everyone else. But also, on the team, we've got people like Maciej, who's got PhD in geophysics, so he's one of those people that understand how AI should work, how AI should interpret the results. We've got people who have been building startups in Silicon Valley and helping no-code companies grow. We've got people who are experienced with B2B sales. We've got people that are simply experienced with growing companies and scaling the teams. So this is I would say that actually this is part of our moat, the great team that is behind the fantastic product.
You still have 20 seconds? Any? Okay. Thank you very much.
Let's orbify. Thank you.
Okay, next startup presenting is World from Space. Do we have them online? Yes, they will be pitching the last one. We'll connect with them. We'll try to connect with them. Let's go and present the Technovator. Yes. Welcome on stage. Here's your clicker. You have 3 minutes for the pitch and 4 minutes for the questions. And yes, you have 7 minutes. Good luck.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. My name is Ruslana. I'm CEO and co-founder of Technovator. We invented an absolutely new method of energy transfer based on energy quantization, a principle first put forward by Max Planck in 1901. And Max Planck postulated that energy was quantized and could be emitted or absorbed by a small unit of energy known as quantum. And we mastered such a principle. And with our quantum charging technology, we are planning to power tomorrow's electric economy. So, what is the existing charging solution available on the market? They are almost wired or virus, but both inefficient because they generate heat, electromagnetic radiation, and they have distance limitation. Let's say wired is able to charge only a single outlet and always need to be connected. If you talk about a virus, like pseudovirus, QI, it requires precise positioning, calls to calls, and it's possible to charge only a couple devices safely up to 15 watts. So, our mission to revolutionize fast, efficient, and convenient wireless charging solutions through the new global standard. How many devices do we use in our daily life? I mean, smartphone, laptops, smartwatches, even electric cars. Too many, right? And all such devices required power. But just imagine life unplugged. When we have different devices, and we can charge them simultaneously without cables. Or let's say we can charge electric vehicles in movement, or even active implantable devices inside of human body. And people can avoid repeated surgeries on their organs. Or for example, we can increase the productivity of warehousing robots twice, and to make drone autonomous, fully autonomous. And actually, what is the advantages of our quantum charging technology? Technology operates outside of electromagnetic fields, does not generate heat and emission, able to charge low power and medium and high power devices simultaneously at a half-meter distance. The market is really huge and counts more than trillions, and we are planning to penetrate step by step different market segments. So, who drives this market? Many companies work on the different technologies, but still no solution on the market. And why our technology better? Because actually we can charge as low as high power devices simultaneously. Technology does not generate heat, electromagnetic interference, and has really high efficiency. We started our project in 2015, and from that moment, the invention happens in actually 2019. We won R&D scientific grant from Polish National Research and Development, more than €500,000, that we finalized it successfully by the end of last year. Also, we successfully passed safety test, and we built the MVP. We are going to start sale of our product by mid-2024. We are a team of 4 founders. We know each other more than 20 years. We have business, technical, and science expertise in our team. Currently, we are raising $5 million to launch our first product in consumer electronics market. Thank you for your attention, and I'm ready for a question.
Thank you so much. Certainly a pain that we all know. Can you speak a bit about the unit economics, namely the costs and kind of what you would have to, or what you will be charging for the solution?
Actually, we are planning to sell license to B2B partners. Firstly, we are planning to go to the pilot project with them, integrating technology into the existing product. And actually, we received the estimation of our technology for the licensing in the United States market. It could be up to $50 million.
But if I translate it to this thing here, my iPhone, kind of how much more expensive does the iPhone get when I use this instead of a cable?
Not such expensive. Our technology not such expensive in manufacturing. It probably could be the similar like QI, you know, or for example some other solutions that we have. But it's definitely necessary to integrate directly into your device. That's why we are looking for the B2B model, selling license to the manufacturers like big partners, Dell, Microsoft, Google, Logitech.
Thank you for the pitch. My question has to do with the current level of IP protection.
We currently applied, actually we are working with a patent lawyer, and we paid for 5 patents. It will be our first 5 technology patents that we are planning to finalize such a process by the end of June.
Thank you.
Ruslan, thank you very much for your pitch. You mentioned different industries, right, in your pitch?
Yeah.
Can you guide us through what's the first focus, what's the go-to-market strategy with regard to these industries?
Actually, what we can see is that as we have already a working prototype for the consumer electronics, because we have the MVP, we integrated technology into 6 consumer electronics products. That's why we think that that market could be a really convenient, like to penetrate first or second. But actually, we already receive start the collaboration with one partner in mobility market to charge electric bikes.
You've mentioned standardization, which would certainly be wonderful, right? But it's, I don't know, it's been 15 years ago or so that the EU kind of had the phone charger standardized. It still isn't standardized. Why does it work now?
Actually, you know, magnetic resonance, that is a standard. Induction, that is a standard, or like microwave. And definitely from our quantum charging technology, we are planning to make a new standard. And for that task, we will need to collaborate with some standard association, or for example, even with some higher university, to make some tests based on our technology and to increase the authority of our technology, to build a new standard in different industries. And as we already successfully passed the safety test and test concerning electromagnetic compatibility, so we know that we will have the possibility to commercialize our technology.
Thank you very much. It's perfectly on time.
Thank you.
The next startup is Nordics.io. Do we have a representative? Cannot see them. Oh, yes. Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the pitch, 4 minutes for the questions. Here's the clicker you can use, the microphone, and yes, good luck.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Lucas, and I'm going to present you startup Nordics.io. Nordics.io is a matchmaking platform for businesses to connect with the software development teams with a niche expertise for the project. We are here because we are looking for a seed investment in the size of 500,000 euros. We have a big inspiration in different platform business, as you can see, like Vinted, Uber, or Booking.com, but we work with a different domain. We are willing to change the industry in software development, and we would like to focus on software development teams and software development companies. We are not working with the freelancers, so we are not building the Upwork #2, but we are willing to work with the software development companies that are the best on the market, and for the clients to bring the trust and the responsibility for the delivery. As a B2B platform, on the one side, we have software development companies from Europe, from 28 different countries. At the moment, it's around 400 different IT companies with histories and with approximately 100 employees. Altogether, we are talking about 40,000 full-time employees in IT that we can reach on the platform. At the moment, they have some struggle because they would like to find the new leads abroad, and sometimes it's not easy for software houses to make the difference between the good one and the not so good one. For the client side, the situation is like this. Every day you receive different messages from different service providers from Asia or anywhere in Europe. The message is quite the same, and for the clients, it's not easy to make the difference between the good ones and the ones that can be good for your project. They have different solutions, so they can build the teams from the freelancers on the one side in the different platforms, or they can go to the different big companies like Accenture, etc. The next solution is to find the right software house in Europe that has the right expertise for your project. This is why we are building Nordics.io. For example, we received yesterday the request from Siemens that they are looking for a team of developers in C# that are willing to start on the 1st of June. There is no solution for Siemens how to handle it, and there is nobody that can help except the solution that we are building. At the moment, we have the traction that all the transactions of the platform are over 1 million euros. And the only message that we say that in case you can build a team in-house, locally in your city, do it. In case you have trouble to do it, just go to the platform Nordics.io and find the solution. Mostly we are working with the corporates, and here you can see a few of the successful clients that we have. For example, I would like to mention Erste Group as a bank, or Siemens, PwC, Deutsche Telekom, or US Steel that are using the platform. We are using AI to match-make the right expertise and the right teams with the projects. At the moment, we are working with more than 12,000 different case studies from our partners, and always we are trying to match the right team with the project that is requested on the platform. We are using the basic business model for the platform businesses, and on the top of each transaction, each monthly invoice, we are adding from 5 to 10%. Each year we have the growth of 500%, and we would like to have transactions in this year for 2.5 million euros. This is the team that I can describe you later. And as I said, we are looking for investment of 500,000 euros, willing to spend it on the development, sales, abroad, and marketing. Thank you very much, and I'm looking forward for the questions.
Thank you. Also, that is a pain that I've experienced myself on both ends. Can you speak a little bit about how you actually do the due diligence and how you figure out that all those niche providers are actually the right ones and are good?
Yes, so I would say it's infinite questions. So the due diligence we would like to have stronger and stronger and to go more deep. The most important for us is to understand the companies, understand the employees, what kind of technology they use, what kind of expertise they have. The most important is solutions they have built. So who was the client in the past, what kind of problem it was, what kind of solution they built, what was the innovation, technology used, how big was the team, what was the review, what kind of reference you can get. So this is the most important for us. And we have 12,000 case studies like this, every day gaining more. This is the data that we use to do the right matchmaking, and we are going to make it really different on the market in case it's going to be working 100%.
So thanks for the pitch. It was very good. I do have a question that you might have been asked in your past pitch, which is how do you prevent clients going around your back?
Yes, I understand. So the features on, for example, Airbnb or on the Upwork, they are so strong that we would like to keep it on the platform. In the future, we would like to build a secure platform for the clients that always you will get the delivery. In case you are not getting delivery, you are not going to pay. At the same time, there is a big problem with the contracts and also the big problem for the vendors not getting paid for the work. This is something that on the platform is not going to happen because of the system that we are going to build, because of the insurance, protection, and disputes that is going to work. It's going to make it more reliable for the companies, for example, abroad in Western Europe or in the US, to go with the development to countries in Central and Eastern Europe, because they are going to be safe that they will get the delivery. And this is the most important for them and the biggest pain they have and the reason why they don't go here with the development.
Yeah, thank you.
Are there any similar solutions out there, like platforms that are doing the same matchmaking?
Yes, so each of these, they have like a different approach. So we try to follow all of them to understand what kind of solution they have. I would say there is no leader on the market. There are like 7 or 8 different solutions at the moment as a platform. And we are different because we try to look at it from the solution perspective. So we try to take the solution as data and to use the AI to matchmake with the right projects. So it's different, and we try to be the biggest one. We try to be the leader in the future, even though the rest, I would say, they have a little bit bigger finance incomes that we have. But we are building the first solution for the future.
Okay, you said that I will talk about the team later, but I was waiting. So who is the team behind the expertise that is working in this solution?
Just letting you know you have some little time to answer.
It's an amazing team, and we are working 3 years at the moment together. Not everybody, the majority of the team.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Actually, that was our last startup for today, because the one that's called Work from Space couldn't make it to pitch today, but, quote, he sends his regards from space to all of you. So it's amazing to have been hosting this event. Thank you very much to our judges. Let's hear a round of applause for the judges and the startups, of course. And one more thing. This edition we wanted to do a small, different thing. The audience, I think you were looking at the startups and maybe you liked the best. Scan this QR code and you have 30 minutes to vote for the best startup, for the one you liked most, for the idea you liked most. And this startup will receive the Audience Award. So, you have 30 minutes to vote. And now I want to take a little break to rearrange the stage and then tell you about the keynote, the panel discussion, sorry, that we will be having before closing ceremony. So thank you very much and stay tuned.